Hi, superstars. It is time for math, and we are on lesson 12-4. Try, check, and revise. You've learned about comparing and ordering by length. You will now learn to solve problems about ordering from shortest to longest. Let's look at our work mat. Salman has 3 pieces of yarn. So we're going to draw 3 pieces of yarn here. And we're going to start on this line. Here's our first piece of yarn. Let's draw another piece of yarn. Right here. And he has one more piece of yarn. Right here. Okay, so Salman wants to put them in order from shortest to longest. So I'm going to put number 1. Oops, I don't want to use that. I want to draw it. 1, 2, and 3. So 1 is going to be the shortest and number 3 is going to be the longest. So we want to put them in order from shortest to longest. So first, I want to find out which of these pieces of yarn is the shortest. Is it the blue or the green or the red? Which is the shortest? What should we put for number 1? The green. So I'm going to put a green piece of yarn over here. That's the shortest. So which one is the shortest now, the blue or the red? The blue. So we would put the next one right here. And now, which is the longest? The only one left, the red. So we will put the red over here. So we put them in the order from shortest to longest. So how do you know that the yarn pieces are in order from shortest to longest? Well, the piece on the bottom sticks out the most. It's longer than 1 and 2. All right, let's turn our worksheet over. Let's look at the first box right here. It says read and understand. So what do you see? There are 4 pieces of yarn. Sanabella wants to put the pieces of yarn in order from shortest to longest. So let's look at our next box over here. So Sanabella starts by trying to find the shortest piece of yarn. First, she's comparing 2 pieces. Is this a good plan? Yes, she's comparing their lengths. Let's look at box number 3. So what does Sanabella do next? Well, she sorts up all the pieces. So she begins with 3 pieces. So what can she do to help solve the problem? She can move the pieces around until they're in order from shortest to longest. And let's look at the last box here. Now she's checking so that she can be sure that the pieces are in order. How can she tell? Well, the shortest piece is at the top and the longest piece is at the bottom. Let's look at our first problem. Number 1. Okay, over here, Now, we want to order the pieces of yarn from the shortest to the longest. How can we find out what order they should go in? How can we check and revise? So you're going to compare these pieces of yarn and you're going to put them in the order from shortest to longest. So we're going to write the numbers to show the correct order from shortest to longest. So for number 1, look at this piece of yarn and compare it to these pieces of yarn. So we are going to pick the shortest piece and put a 1 to tell us that it is the shortest. So on number 1, that looks like the shortest. So we're going to say that's number 1. That's the shortest. We're going to look for the next one. We're putting them in order. So if number 1 is the shortest, which one is next? Compare the lengths. So look at number 2. Is that the next one? No. How about number 3? Yes, number 3 is a little longer right here than number 1. So this would be the next one. So we would put a number 2 to show that that is the next one. So which one is longer than number 2, but shorter than the longest? So this one is the second longest, or the second shortest, I apologize. Which is the third? It would be this one. So what number are we going to put? 3. Now we're looking for the longest. And that would be number 4. So which is the longest? This one. So we put them in order from the shortest over here all the way to the longest. All right, now let's look at the next side of the paper. So we want to put these pieces of yarn in order from shortest to longest. So how can we find out what order they should go in? Okay, well, we have to compare, right? So let's look at each one and see which one is the shortest piece. And let's put a 1 right here. That looks like the shortest. All right, which is next? Which is a little longer? It looks like this one. Which is next? We want something that is longer than this, but not the longest yet. So which one would be number 3? This one, right? And the longest one would be this one. So we will put a 4 next to it. So we put them in order from shortest to longest. Good job, superstars. Until next time, have a wonderful day. Bye.